And I mean, the markets have been on a strong run in the last few sessions. But so far, we are ignoring the global headwinds, coming our way. The crude prices, which are at 6-month high, the bond yields highest since November of last year. I mean, what's driving this optimism in your opinion, sir?
Well, I think fundamentally, I think the Indian macro and micro both are doing well. And there are two pockets of growth in the world today. One is US, the other is India. And both the pockets are showing enough and more resilience on the face of global negative news flows. So while the oil has been moving up, there is enough geopolitical tension. And in spite of that, look at the strength of the US market, US economy, and look at the strength of Indian market and the Indian economy. I think it's quite amazing. But I would like to add to your basket of things which investors should watch is the monsoon. As far as India is concerned, apart from crude oil, which is extremely important, price of crude oil, general election, which of course, I think the market is moving towards a consensus that the existing government comes back with some kind of majority. The other factor which one needs to be cognizant about is definitely the monsoon. I think India still has in monsoon has still a huge role to play as far as Indian economy and markets are concerned. And the progress of monsoon, the quantum of monsoon, the distribution of monsoon, all these will become extremely important. So quarterly results and predictions and actual data on monsoon will be watched, apart from, of course, the general elections, as far as domestic cues are concerned.
All right, and monsoon will certainly be the one to track. I mean, the expectations broadly are it will be a normal monsoon this time around, and perhaps maybe RBI is also waiting to see how the monsoon turnout is before they go on their monetary easing cycle. But, sir, we are at the start of the fourth quarter earnings season, and TCS is expected to kick off proceedings this week. Infosys Wipro will come out next week. And I mean, from the IT pack, the bellwether companies at least, most of us are factoring in another weak quarter. But do you see guidance improving this time around?
That's what I believe. I strongly believe that what's going to happen is this quarter will not be anything great. Exceptions will be there here and there amongst the large IT companies. One company may outperform, one company may underperform. But what's happening is, I think from next quarter onwards, things are definitely going to improve. We have seen the worst as far as Indian IT companies' performance is concerned already. That much I'm reasonably certain. So from here on, things will start improving, and we have to work on that. Now, which pocket will benefit most, which segment will benefit most, all that we need to study, analyze, and discuss. But generally speaking, I think IT has seen its worst, and things will start improving from here on. Let's see the commentary, let's see the predictions, let's see the earnings estimate, and the range which multiple companies come out with.
Morning, sir. One sector that has outperformed the Nifty more than others this last 1 month is the auto sector. It has, in the last 1 month, it has gained 5.07%. The Nifty auto against the Nifty gaining only 1.49%. Yesterday, the top gainers were auto firms led by Eicher Motors. The Nifty auto percentage change yesterday was as much as 2.16%. Now, when we look at the auto performance stocks, the stocks that have gained maximum yesterday are the ones that have not gained too much in the last 1 year. But the ones that have not gained, the other auto stocks like TVS Motors, Bajaj Auto, Tata Motors, they have not gained much yesterday. But is it that people are cashing out of those stocks which have basically gained almost 100% in the last 1 year? And the ones that have not gained that much, the people are basically buying into that sort of a dip buying.
You're absolutely right. Bit of rotation definitely is happening in auto. That's the reason why you see people getting out of Bajaj Auto. I think people have made tons of money in Bajaj Auto, and some amount of profit booking there won't do any harm. Same goes for TVS, and Hero MotoCorp on the other hand hasn't really performed that great. So probably some money as far as two-wheeler allocation is moving to Hero MotoCorp. As far as the four-wheelers are concerned, yeah, some money is moving to Maruti, M&M, obviously, and moving probably a little bit out of Tata Motors. Though I must say that JLR numbers were stunning and the performance were excellent as far as JLR is concerned. The numbers came out yesterday as far as JLR is concerned. By and large, if you ask me, I think Indian Auto have have been resilient. They have done exceedingly well. M&M has a challenge in terms of tractors not doing great. Eicher Motor has a challenge in terms of the small segment tractors not doing well. But by and large, I think over the performance, whether you look at the SUV, whether you look at the non-SUV passenger cars have been good. Commercial vehicles have done reasonably well. There may be some road bumps going ahead, but as things stand today, things are looking reasonably good.
My question is two-part. One is on commercial vehicles you just mentioned. What do you see the road ahead for companies like even Tata Motors is there, Eicher Motors, Mahindra and Mahindra in the next 1 year post-elections, considering, like you mentioned, rural demand has been a problem and other whether there is noise with EVs coming in. How do you see this space, the entire auto space basically performing in the next 1 year?
Well, a couple of things. Let me point out that you're absolutely right. The rural demand has been subdued, and that's the reason you see the tractor numbers haven't been at all impressive for all the players, whether it's an Escorts, whether it's a Mahindra, whether it's an Eicher. Of course, it's a very small part of their kitty, but the numbers haven't been good. And the expectation are that with the monsoon being normal, which is the prediction, and a lot of money moving to rural India on account of elections and other things, I think the demand may be robust coming monsoon season. So they are hoping for a recovery in the tractors. So we will probably see that. And somebody wanting to play that trade, M&M again will be the best bet, I would suggest, because their other parts of M&M are doing very well. Escorts, again, with the change of management, Kubota coming in, it's a changed company, it's a different company, entering Escorts even at current level and holding for long term, absolutely no problem. But as far as the EV issue is concerned, I would like to highlight two facts. One is globally, there is a bit of a slowdown has started coming as far as EV offtake is concerned. India, it's a nascent stage, absolutely nascent stage. People are just experimenting. Some small numbers are getting sold. There is excitement in the market. There is excitement among analysts. There is excitement amongst companies, and companies coming out with EV are getting disproportionately rewarded in the market. But the fact is, the sheer numbers haven't yet picked up in a manner to write home about. And the way things are happening globally, I don't see the numbers, really going that far in the short term. People are predicting by 2030 numbers may stabilize and things like that. We'll have to wait and watch. While I believe in the transition, while I believe in green energy, I don't think the EV is going to be a revolution in the short term. It will be a gradual transition. Hybrids are more likely the way forward.
All right, and speaking of EVs, there was this very recent study in the US that showed that the resale value of EV companies have drastically dropped. I mean, average price of EV companies dropped as much as 30% on a year-on-year basis, whereas ICE engines just dropped by about 4 to 5%. So perhaps that's also something we need to be cautious about. But sir, moving on, because we were talking about general election, and that is the big theme for India and the markets at large. I mean, I think at this point, most of us are factoring in a clean sweep for BJP. Some are even expecting a 400 plus, seat win for the incumbent government. But do you think, I mean, if there is any disappointment, let's say BJP is only able to rake in, let's say 320 to 350 seats, will the market see correction? And, if you can help us understand what sort of a percentage impact can the market see if there is a disappointment, sir?
Well, Suyash, I think it's all in the sentiment. We know 272 plus gives a clear majority. And that's good enough for governing in a constructive manner over the next 5 years. These are all sentiment, 300, 400, all these are sentiments. And these are being numbers are being talked about quite widely. And of course, if the numbers are not what is being predicted, closer to 400, there may be a little bit of disappointment in the market, but that's just the sentiment. And I think markets will get over that within a period of maybe 1 day or half a day. End of the day, the hard reality is once you have 272 plus, you are good to govern for 5 years. And that's good enough to pass resolutions, to pass bills and everything. So under the circumstances, I don't see too much of a lasting impact on the numbers not coming closer to 400 or whatever 350 or whatever the numbers people are talking about. I think it's just sentiment.